Hello, it's Jay here again, and welcome to another video. We are carrying on with the Stat GUI. We are going to move on to other things very shortly, but the weather's been incredibly hot here. I just wanted to keep the video simple for a while. So we'll continue on with the Stat GUI in this lesson. May take another lesson or two, but then we can hopefully move on to other things. So with that said, I'm actually going to start in the game manager script, and I've actually been making some changes to my GUI just to improve the look. And we're going to begin with stat individual height equals screen height divided by 8. I'm actually going to divide that by 24, and obviously we need to put the F for float. And with that done, we're going to come to the stat background height. So let's have a look. We have it by times 4. I'm going to change that to 10. I'll leave the offset at 5. Let's just save that off. So we're going to hit play, and we're just going to see if the background and foreground are correct. It will, obviously, the stat label, and then where we say which colour robot it is going to be now incorrect, but we'll sort that now. So let's come to the stat GUI and let's have a look. We need to look at the label stats to begin with. So we're just going to come here. Let's use plus. In fact, we don't need the brackets. Let's just put stat individual height. And then we'll come to where we have the if choose character robot black equals true, this label. So let's change that to stat individual height, and we'll use the times 2 again. Let's save that off. We'll hit play and we'll see how it looks. And it should be roughly in the same position. If not, we'll have to tweak it again. But no, that's absolutely fine. So let's actually just copy that line, and we're just going to paste it in for the height for each character, which will only take a moment. And we'll save that off there. So now we're going to come back up to the top of the script. And let's have a look. Now this needs to be of type private, because we don't want to change this int underscore, and I'm going to use stat max. We'll close that line off. So I'm just going to show you my stat scripts. all my regular attacks are under the value of 10. Now we'll worry about the special move damage later, so that's why I'm using a max value of 10, and we can actually put that here because we won't be changing it. And I'll quickly put that into the comments. So obviously you need to choose value that will suit your project. If you've done like I have done and kept your normal attacks under 10, then use a max value of 10. If you've done it up to 15, use 15 for the max value, and so on. So just be aware of that. And we'll have of type private, yeah, we'll use float underscore and let's say left punch, and we want the bar length. Close that line off into the comments. Defines the left punch, and we'll say bar length based on stat value, and then we'll carry on. We'll put this in the void update for now. Again, at a later date we'll look into activating and deactivating this script as necessary, but for now in the void update I'll just use the same return line for if the current scene does not equal the choose character, we return, and only when it does equal the choose character scene, then we want to actually run some code. So let's define a float return black robot left punch damage is going to equal the black robot stat script dot, and then of course we want the left punch damage. Let's just close that line off. We'll break this up for commenting. Defines float, and let's just copy that naming convention in. Define float and set as equal to and we'll just use the black robot stats script and the left punch damage within. So let's come to the line below now. Underscore, and we want the new left punch bar length, and that's going to equal, I'll put this into brackets, the return black robot left punch damage divided by the stat max. So let's just close that off. Let's break this up for commenting. And we'll just say, let's just copy that. The bar length is equal to And again, we can just copy the naming convention. So left punch damage divided by, in fact, I'll type that. And let's just paste that in. And we'll just save there for the moment. So let's come down to the robot blag function. And of course we'll get this done first, and we're just going to concentrate on the left punch damage. Obviously once we've completed this, we can then worry about just copy and pasting code with minor changes for the other robots and for the other stats. So yeah, I'll just copy and paste the label. We're going to change this to draw texture. So let's adjust these values now. Oh, excuse me. Let's have a look. I'll increase that, and just bear with me, because I have actually just jotted down some values. So times 2.75f for the position width. Draw texture. Let's use the stat GUI offset rather than 0, and we'll say that plus individual height times 3. So just in case you're wondering, that's why I've put the zeros, just in case I want to go in and obviously just change those. Makes it a little bit easier. Obviously once we've done, we can go ahead and we could actually delete these zeros, but I'm going to leave it as it is for now. Stat individual width, and I'm going to say minus, in brackets, the stat GUI offset times 2. Stat individual height is fine. Obviously we're not drawing a label, we're drawing a texture, and in this case we want the stat empty. And I'll quickly change the comments. So luckily we can just copy all of this now. Let's paste that in. So I'll quickly tidy that up, and I'll change what needs to be changed, which isn't a great deal. Although we do need to make changes to stat individual width. In fact, I'll add a open bracket to the beginning, and I'll put a close bracket here. So stat individual width minus stat GUI offset times 2, that should be fine, times, and we'll use the left punch bar length. and I'll just break that up and add a fresh comment. I'll just put width on the end just to make things obvious. And we'll change that to start fill. So let's save that off. And we're going to hit play. And as normal, we'll just let this run through. So, my apologies, I haven't assigned the GUI. I'll just use the empty for the health. I do have some new textures for the stat empty and fill. I'll put those into place in the next lesson, but I'll just use these for now. I do apologise, I had actually thought that I'd assigned them textures in the previous video. So there we have the left punch damage being displayed. And we need to tell the player that that is the left punch, because obviously the player can just see the bar. And excuse me, let's come and copy the label for the black robot, and we'll paste that in below. So, and if you bear with me, because I just need to check the values that I wrote down, which is 3.5f for the times offset, the width, individual height times 3, and again we're going to replace the 0 with stat, and we want the offset. Individual width and height can remain the same. And print, let's just put left punch. Again, we'll save this off and we'll just check that everything's in the correct place. And I know I know using the health GUI isn't ideal. I know it doesn't sort of fit, but that's okay. So we have left punch being now printed onto the bar, but it does not look good. So we're going to stop that there. We're going to come back to the script. Now, before we actually print that label, so I'm going to come just above the label for left punch. And what you can actually do is change the values like we have here for the GUI skin on the fly using code. So this is a good reason why I do everything in code. So you can do things like this. So I want, and let's have a look here. We're going to copy the line that anchors the text to middle center. We're going to paste that in. But I'm going to change it to middle left. So this will not affect this part of the code. So as it cycles through, it will read this middle center, it will print the label here and here, it will then change to middle left, print this as middle left, but when it cycles back through, it's going to read this line again and reset back to middle center. So I will show this working, so let's just get this into the comments. We just need to tidy up and change that to left. So the start GUI label color, I may change this, but for now let's just have this equal, and we're just going to put to equal to color black. I may come back and still add an alpha effect to this, but for now let's just set it to black. And font size, I want to make a little bit smaller. So let's just copy the line here for the label. We don't need the box, just the label line. Let's paste that in. Font size, and we're going to say start GUI font size. We're going to say divided by 1.5f. And we have a red error, so cannot implicitly convert float to int. And we cannot just cast to an int, the red error will remain. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast to an int there. And then we're going to come and we're going to open brackets twice. And we'll close brackets, we'll put float. And we're going to come to the end of the line. And we're going to close brackets. Now, so this is a long-winded way of doing it, but it does work. Again, I do like to show different ways of doing things, so let's just break up the comments. I'll just put divided by value, because I may change that value. Let's just save that off. We'll downsize, we'll hit play again, and we'll just let this run through. And we'll just check it one last time that everything's working. So everything seems to be working. We seem to have a problem with the color. So let me just have a look. Oh, sorry, yeah, label color. It should be, we want the start GUI skin, sorry, dot label, sorry, it's dot normal, dot text color. So sorry about that. Obviously, I just didn't think for that one line. Let's run through. We'll let it run through again, and we'll test it out again. And now it is colour black. So let's just come back. I'm not just going to worry too much about this, because I think we will change this up. We'll add some sort of alpha effect, but we'll do that when we actually get the new GUI empty and full GUI completed, the textures. I will have them ready for the next video. I should have had them ready for this video, but I just want to make a few tweaks, and we'll do that in the next video. And of course, now we've done it for Left Punch, we have the code in place, and it should make it very easy now to actually copy and paste this code and get the other values working with just minor changes. So we'll leave it here for now. As always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time. And as always, until then, bye for now.